Hi everyone, my name is Allison and this is the mid-year book freakout tag. While I do this recap and freak out about the fact that I've not read as many books as I feel like I have, I think it's good to reflect that I've actually had a really good reading year. I did not read a lot when I was in school, it's just not something I made a priority, and honestly, the fact that I've read 15 books so far this year, considering I was in school for most of 2017 so far, is really impressive to me. So let's just jump right in with these questions. Question number 1 is the best book you've read so far this year. This is hands down Homegoing by Adaptation. I don't have it with me because I lent it to a friend, and once I get it back from him, I'm probably gonna lend it to another friend because I loved it so much and I want to give it to every single person that I know so they can read it. It is such a magnificent story. It is so beautifully written, and I just think the journey that it goes on from generation to generation is just so poignant and beautiful and heartbreaking, and it is so great, you guys. Please, if you haven't read that book, I highly recommend it. I think it is incredible and it's something that everybody needs to read. I really cannot speak highly enough about it. It changed my life. It was so great. Number 2 is the best sequel you read so far in 2017, and this is going to go to Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. This is actually the only sequel I've read so far in 2017, unless you count the rereads of Harry Potter. But even if I had read other sequels, it would probably still go to this one because I was so impressed with this book. It is really well written. A great follow to Six of Crows, and I really enjoyed it, so definitely this one. Number 3 are new releases you haven't read yet but want to. This list is very long, so I'm gonna try to keep it brief. The top of the list is When Diplomat Rishi, Tosh Hart's Tolstoy, The Seafarer's Kiss. I also would really love to read The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, One of Us is Lying, Definitions of Indefinable Things, It's Not Like It's a Secret. Oh, Juliet Takes a Breath is absolutely at the top of the list. I really want to read that. There are so many more like recent releases that I want to read, but I don't think they count as new because they actually came out in 2016. I'm pretty sure this question is just for books that came out in 2017, so that's the short list. Number 4 is the most anticipated new release of the second half of the year. Again, there are a lot, but the one that comes to mind immediately is All the Crooked Saints by Maggie Stiefvater. I absolutely adore the Raven Cycle, and I think her writing is so incredible and beautiful, and it just connects with me so much, so I'm really excited to read more works by her. I actually haven't read anything else that Maggie Stiefvater has written, and I'm definitely going to go back to her old releases eventually, but at the moment, I really want to see how she progresses past the Raven Cycle, so I'm so hyped for that. Number 5 is your biggest disappointment of the year, and this one has to go to Wink Poppy Midnight by April Genevieve Tuchok. I admit I judged this book by its cover. I read the first few pages in the bookstore. I thought it was a little weird but promising, and so I bought it and then I read it, and I was just really kind of let down. I read through this really fast, actually just because I wasn't really enjoying it and I just wanted to finish it. I thought this book was trying to emulate magical realism, you know, ordinary becomes extraordinary, quirky characters, interesting, unique writing style, but it just kind of fell flat. It didn't really feel totally finished to me, and to be honest. I just wish this was a little bit more full than it felt. It felt kind of flat to me. So yeah, I gave it 2 out of 5 stars because I thought there was some stuff in there that was cool and had potential, but yeah, I was really let down by this book. Number 6 is my biggest surprise, and this is also going to go to Crooked Kingdom. I didn't actually think I was going to dislike this book, or that it wasn't going to live up to Six of Crows, but I just thought it was going to be a very differently paced book than it actually was. Honestly, I wasn't sure what to expect, but I definitely wasn't expecting the book I got. And my relationship to the characters changed a lot, which was totally not something I was prepared for. So yeah, this was a really pleasant surprise. Number 7 is my favorite new author, either with a debut or new to me. This is also going to go to Yajasi. When she publishes again, and I don't even know when that will be, I will probably drop what I'm reading and go pick up that book. I am just so excited by her. I really cannot wait to see what she does next, so she's definitely my favorite for this year. Number 8 and number 9 I'm going to answer together because they have the same answer. Number 8 is my newest fictional crush, and number 9 is my new favorite character, and they're both going to go to Nina Zenik, again from Crooked Kingdom. I'm sorry I keep mentioning this book. I just think she is badass and powerful, and no matter what happens to her, she comes out on the other end of it stronger. She doesn't lose who she is. She's just really cool and incredible, and I would date her in a second. Number 10 is a book that made you cry. I don't really cry when I read books. I can't remember the last time I did cry when I read a book, so I don't have an answer for this. Sorry. Number 11 is a book that made you happy, and this is going to be The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. This book made me feel a lot of things, but every time I read about Star's family, I was just so in love. It just made me feel all warm and fuzzy inside to read about this incredible family that really looks out for each other and takes care of one another. I just think Star is incredibly strong in this novel too. I love the way that she navigates her relationships with her family and her friends. I think this is an incredible book and everyone should read read it, and overall just thinking about this book, I'm just happy that it exists and that it's out in the world, and that's why it's the answer to this one, because I'm just glad this exists, and I think everyone should read it. Number 12 is your favorite book to film adaptation that you saw this year. I don't think I saw any. I don't really watch a lot of movies. Even at home, I'm not really a movie person. I tend to read or watch YouTube before I turn on the television, so I am hopelessly behind on films, and I don't really feel the urge to catch up. You know, like, film is cool and all, and I love analyzing films. I love watching those YouTube channels that analyze films. They're so fascinating to me, but when it comes to actually sitting through a movie, I'm just like not my thing right now. So yeah, I don't have an answer for this one either. Number 13 is my favorite review I've written so far this year. I've actually never really written reviews for books before. I've only written one, and it was for Lord of the Flies. I just wrote it because I needed to like express my feelings about this book after I read it. So I guess by default this is my favorite because it's the only one I've written. In case you're wondering, I didn't like this book. I just wanted to talk about some stuff that was bothering me. I don't really think it's actually that constructive. I kind of wish I had done a different review so I could pick a different answer for this. But I don't know. If you want to read it anyway, it's on my Goodreads. Number 14 is the most beautiful book I've received this year, either as a gift or the one that I bought myself. This is hard. This is really hard because I think a lot of book covers are beautiful for many different reasons, but along with my personal aesthetic, I probably have to pick City of Saints and Thieves or probably Wing Poppy Midnight. These covers are very different, but they're beautiful in their own way, and if I had to pick, it's a toss-up between these two. I kind of want to pick this one just because I liked the story more, but if I'm being honest, I do like both of these equally for different reasons, and yeah, so I'm just gonna go with both of these. Number 15 are what books you need to read before the end of the year. So obviously all of the books that I mentioned in the new releases I haven't read yet and my most anticipated read of the second half of the year, but I'm also adding Not Your Sidekick by C.B. Lee, All American Boys by Jason Reynolds, The Little Friend by Donna Tartt, simply because this has been on my TBR for like 2 years now and I really need to get to it. Perfume by Patrick Suskind, again because this has been on my TBR for forever and I really just want to get to it. Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte because I really just want to get to some more classics this year. Lies We Tell Ourselves by Robin Talley. This is not a high priority, but I've had this for a while. It's fairly short and the font is not too small, so I think I can get through it pretty fast, and again, like all the other books that have been on my TBR for 2+ years, I really just want to get to it. If I Have Time, 1984 by George Orwell, again, not a super high priority. As Brave as You, also by Jason Reynolds. I actually got this when I bought All American Boys at BookCon. This is a middle grade book, I believe. I don't really know anything about it, but from what I read on the inside cover, it sounds really cool, so I'm gonna read it and then I'm gonna pass it along to my cousin because I think she would really enjoy it. Another book I want to read and then pass on to my cousin is Prince in Disguise. This is an ARC that I got at BookCon. Again, I don't really know what this is about, but it sounds really cute, and I would just want to give it a read before I pass it along. I also want to pick back up Bird by Bird by Anne Lamott. This is a writing/life advice book. I read a decent chunk of it for a playwriting class that I took last year, but I never actually finished it because I got too busy reading other stuff, so I definitely want to pick this back up. I'm probably just going to start over because it's been a while, but this was a really great, helpful book, and I think it will inspire me to crack down on my own writing, so I definitely want to try to pick this back up. Also, Olivia over at Hey Olivia Reads, I think is going to pass me along Passenger and Wayfarer and Kill the Boy Band by Goldie Moldavsky, so I'm probably going to read those before the end of the year too. I'm also rereading the Harry Potter series this summer, so obviously I want to get to all of those before the end of the summer, not even before the end of the year. I'm also probably forgetting a bunch of other books. If you're curious, I think I have more books on my Goodreads TBR. My Goodreads goal is 25 books this year, but if things go the way that I have planned, I'm going to exceed that goal. So yeah, that's the end of the tag. This was really fun. I'm really glad I did this, if only so I can have a list of what books to read next so I can hold myself accountable and actually get to those books and not just go buy new ones. Please let me know in the comment section down below what books you want to read next. Have you read any of the books that are on my TBR? Have you read any of the books that I've read so far this year? I realize I didn't mention a lot of books that I've read in this tag. That's weird. I feel like I did this wrong. It's not because I didn't like them, they just weren't the answers to the question. Oh well. I promise I actually have had a really good reading year. I totally forgot to tag people, so if this lighting is different, it's because I'm filming at a different time of the day. I'm gonna tag Hey Olivia Reads, Lydia Fuo, and Cam Harrop. I don't think any of you have done this video yet, so consider yourself tagged. I'm also going to tag anyone who's watching this video and wants to do it. You have officially been tagged by me. Have fun! If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you want to hear more from me, please subscribe. I also have social media. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at thebibrarian. I will leave those linked down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, enjoy your reading. Bye!